So, something I don't normally do is draw with watercolor pencils and apply water with an integrated water brush. Instead of doing like a full painting with acrylics or watercolor or something, I'm going to start out with my watercolor pencils and see what happens. So, I chose a pre cut 5x7 sheet of watercolor paper and I got started. What I wanted to do was get the water a little bit damp first. And so I took my water brush out and I started to put a wash of water on it. And that's when I saw that there was some residual fountain pen ink left in there. So I just decided to make it a light wash. It was a blue sky day and might as well have some texture to start out with. When I started drawing with the watercolor pencil, which I use the Caran Museum Aquarelles, so they're already a pretty creamy pencil to draw with. And what I discovered drawing over a wet paper is that it's very creamy and it almost feels like drawing with ink already. And you get a much more saturated line than you would with dry pencil on dry paper. And I really liked it. So I sketched out the bones of the composition that I wanted, and I was looking at a small section of this beautiful willow tree by the lagoon. And there were some really dynamic branches that I wanted to capture. And something else with these watercolor pencils is that it's a limited palette. I have a set and I have the colors that came in the set. For instance, there's just one brown. So I knew already that I was going to be layering and potentially adding colors that I didn't necessarily see to represent and give the feeling of being there and looking at the willow tree. I really love when the limited palette forces you to get outside what you would normally do with color and potentially be less prosaic with the color choices that you make and to use a combination that is good for the painting or the drawing and not necessarily exactly what you see. So the technique that I used was to layer the colors of the leaves and build up the feeling of the texture. And as I drew on the damp paper, it started to dry a little more. And so in my drawing, you can kind of see the progression of the areas of the page that were more damp versus the ones where it started to be dry on dry. And it's really interesting to see the difference in the color of the pencil on a damp area and a dry area. And I draw with a really quick hand. And so this is not science illustration. This is let's get this representation down fast. And if it looks like I am pressing down kind of hard on the paper, it's because I am. I love that saturated color, and sometimes you gotta use force to get it to go. So using the broad end of the pencil tip, you can start to shade and get that wider fill color. It starts out lightly, and so you can build up to the intensity that you would like to have. And it's also true that when drawing and painting with color, I start to really like certain colors, and then I want to put them everywhere. And so it really takes some discipline to keep myself from filling the whole page with every color that I like, rather than using it in a descriptive way as needed. And I'm layering shading over drawn lines to get shapes in the background and add depth to my drawing. One of the fun things about willow tree leaves is that they're not very fancy. They really are just straight lines hanging down. Using that as my guide, I can create lines and clumps of the straight lines that start to really form the tree. So about halfway through the drawing, I start to get really involved in layering the leaf colors and having dry pencil over wet pencil, but still keeping that quality of line that I started with. And in case you want a spoiler at the end, how did I like using watercolor pencils rather than a paint and brush? And I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I was able to get a piece of artwork that I was very happy with in a short amount of time. And certainly choosing a small piece of paper helped helped me with that too, but also because I was able to get the description of the tree very quickly with these pencils. So at a certain point in the drawing, I start to just use colors because I feel like using them, and they aren't necessarily exactly the colors I am seeing, but there are these deep reddish tones in the bark of the tree. And I didn't just want to use that one reddish purple color all the time and have light and dark of it. I wanted to build depth and shadow. And so I just got out all the warm colors in my set and started layering them to create a solid bark. I do a lot of pausing and looking while I am working out in the open air. Because I always see something different when I pause. I see something different in my subject, and then I look at what I've done, and I see something different in what I've done. So adding intensity with colors that you don't actually necessarily see in real life can really punch up the effect. So there's no rules to this, really. There's techniques that people have developed over the years, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. It can all be an experiment. Have you experimented with water-soluble pencils? I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments. As with any work of art, the hardest decision is when to stop and when to keep going. And at any point in this particular drawing, I could have been at a place where I would have been happy with it, but there kept being some other aspect of what I was looking at in real life that I wanted to try and represent on the paper. And so I just kept going until I had something that felt full and complete. In my way of thinking, there's the time that you spend putting pencil to paper. That is the amount of time that it takes to do a work of art. And then there's the time that you spend considering it and observing your subject and thinking about colors and mixtures and line quality and techniques. And that is also part of the time that it takes to create a work of art. There are spots in this video where you don't see me drawing at all. But I'm still creating the artwork though, because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. I'm looking at what it's like. I'm reviewing my pencil choices. And because I'm outside, I'm probably being distracted by birds as well, because I love to bird. And it's just a joy to be able to go and be outside and draw something that you find interesting, and then put your art supplies away, get your binoculars out, and see who's there with you. If you want to know what was behind the willow tree, there was a calm lagoon and a little hillside with coastal neighborhood on it. And where I was sitting was behind the parking lot of one of my local library branches. And it's just a lovely spot. Toward the end of the drawing or the painting, I do a lot more looking and less getting something down on the page. And every movement becomes more considered. How I remember creating this drawing is a non-stop frenetic pace. But there's plenty of moments in the creation where I stopped to look, think, and consider. All I have to do is build up the depth that I want and have a balance of color. And I'm still thinking, am I going to add water to this again? What will happen to the lines and the colors and the shading if I do? And I did bring out the water brush again to make the painterly strokes happen. And I don't know, do I prefer it to what it looked like when it was just pencil? I think I like the different textures coming out. I love the intensity of color that happens when you put water over pencil that's already down on the paper. And I like the juxtaposition of the dry strokes and the detail strokes along with the new texture introduced by the water. I really love my finished product. I love the colors. I love the energy that it has. I think it has a dynamic composition that engages me as I look at it. And it does, of course, remind me of that wonderful afternoon I had with my friends making art by the lagoon. Thanks for watching my process. If you enjoyed this glimpse into plein air drawing with watercolor pencils, I'd love for you to subscribe and check out my other art process videos. And if you're interested in learning more about my workshops and classes, you can find links in the description below. Happy creating!